Look at this cursor moving across the screen. Look closely. No hands are touching a mouse. This is Noland Arbaugh. He is paralyzed from the shoulders down, and he is playing Civilization 6. He isn't using eye tracking. He isn't using voice commands. He is using telepathy. In January 2024, a robot cut a hole in his skull and inserted the future. The Neuralink N1, a coin-sized computer fused directly to his motor cortex. The world held its breath. Would he survive? Would his brain reject the alien object? For weeks, silence. Then, a live stream changed history. He wasn't just surviving, he was multitasking. He was cracking jokes. The barrier between biology and silicon had finally been shattered. But just when it looked perfect, the data started to vanish. Inside his brain, the microscopic threads were doing something terrifying. They were pulling out. To understand how they saved the mission, we first have to understand the man who risked his mind. Before the chip, Noland lived in a world of inputs he couldn't control. A freak diving accident severed his connection to the physical world. His brain was screaming commands. Move hand, click mouse. But the phone line was cut. For years, the old way was his reality. Mouth sticks, eye trackers. Eye trackers are miracles, but they are exhausting. If you look away, you click wrong. Noland wanted to play games, to code, to be fast. Biology was the bottleneck. Millions suffer from this locked-in silence. ALS, spinal injuries, strokes. The villain here isn't the injury, it is the disconnect. The signal exists, but it has nowhere to go. Scientists have tried to bridge this gap before. The Utah array was the gold standard. But it looked like a medieval torture device compared to what Musk wanted. The old arrays required wires sticking out of your head, open wounds, infection risks. Noland didn't want to be a lab rat. He wanted to be a user. But getting to human trials was a bloodbath of controversy. Monkeys died. The FDA said no. Engineers quit. The project almost imploded. Until 2023, the FDA greenlit the PRIME study. They needed a volunteer, someone willing to let a robot drill into their skull. Noland raised his hand. He wasn't scared, he was bored. He said, "I just want to play games with my friends again." Simple. But the surgery required a machine no human hand could operate. The threads are thinner than a red blood cell, too small for a surgeon's eye. The robot avoids blood vessels. It plants the electrodes like seeds in the motor cortex. January 28th, Noland wakes up. The chip is in, and it's invisible. They turn it on. At first, noise. But then, Noland thinks, move left. The cursor obeyed. It was shaky, drunk almost, but it moved. Within days, Noland was setting records. He was learning to be a cyborg. He described it like the Force. He wasn't thinking, move hand. He was just willing it. He played Mario Kart. He played chess. He stayed up until 6 a.m. playing Civilization. The battery lasted hours. It charged wirelessly through his skin. For a moment, the mission looked perfect. Too perfect. Because the human brain isn't a solid rock. It's jello. And the Neuralink chip? It sits on the skull, the rock. Every time Noland's heart beat, his brain pulsated, moving, shifting. Those microscopic threads, they started to slip. The villain here isn't the injury, it is the disconnect. The signal exists, but it has nowhere to go. One by one, disconnecting, going dark. 85% of the threads retracted. The signal was dying. Noland noticed it immediately. The cursor got sluggish. He lost control. He thought the experiment was over, that he had failed. The engineers had a choice: pull the chip or rewrite the code. The team was baffled. The surgery was perfect. The robot didn't miss. But physics didn't care. An air pocket had formed inside the skull. This bubble pushed the brain down, away from the implant. Noland felt the delay. He tried to click. The cursor just drifted. He later admitted, "I cried. I thought my journey was over." The media smelled blood. Neuralink fails. Musk's disaster. The headlines wrote themselves. Surgeons wanted to operate again, to fix the threads physically. But the engineers said no, do not cut him open, let us code. They realized the remaining threads were still listening. They were just too quiet. So they changed the algorithm. They turned up the sensitivity. Imagine a singer stepping away from a microphone. You don't chase him, you boost the gain. They focused on neural population signals, groups of neurons shouting together. The update went live. No surgery, just a download. Noland tried again. The cursor didn't just move, it flew. He actually beat his previous record, with only 15% of the threads working. This begs the question, how does a piece of wire translate a thought into a click? Welcome to the world of spikes, the language of the brain. Every time you want to move, your neurons fire an electrical pulse, a spike. The Neuralink threads are essentially microphones listening for these spikes. It captures 20,000 samples per second. That is a lot of noise. The chip on Noland's skull filters this noise instantly, detecting the intent. It knows that this specific spike pattern means move up. Think of it like a crowded cocktail party. The threads are trying to listen to one specific conversation across the room. But here is the part that should scare you, or excite you. Noland isn't just moving a mouse, he is playing WebGrid. We measure this in BPS, bits per second. It's the speed of thought. A normal human using a mouse? They hit about 15 BPS. Noland, with a broken implant, hit 8 BPS. He is catching up to able-bodied people. And this is just version 1, the blocky Nokia phone version. The next version will have double the threads, deeper insertion. We aren't just looking at cursor control, we are looking at the merge. Right now your output is slow. You type with 2 thumbs, it's pathetic. Your brain is a supercomputer, but your thumbs are a dial-up modem. Neuralink removes the thumbs, it removes the bottleneck. This is where the video game story ends, and the sci-fi story begins. If Noland can control a mouse, he can control a Tesla. He can control a humanoid robot, an Optimus bot. This isn't theory. The second patient, Alex, is already designing 3D objects. He is playing Counter-Strike, moving and aiming simultaneously, something impossible with eye tracking. But look further. Imagine downloading a language. Musk calls it consensual telepathy, communicating without speaking. You could share a memory, not a description of it, the actual sensory experience. This changes what it means to be human. We become a networked species. But to get there, we have to solve the bandwidth problem. Neuralink isn't just a medical device. It is an extinction insurance policy. Musk believes AI will outthink us. If we can't beat them, join them. Noland Arbaugh is the first soldier in this war to stay relevant. He is the proof that biology can hold its own against silicon. But wait, before you sign up for surgery, you need to see the dark side. If your brain is connected to the internet, can it be hacked? Cybersecurity experts call it brain ransomware. Imagine paying Bitcoin to unlock your own memories. Noland isn't worried. He says, if they hack me, they just see my cursor moving. But Noland is just the mouse user. Future patients will be memory users. And what happens when the Neuralink 2 comes out next year? Do you get brain surgery every September, like buying a new iPhone? Once you merge with the cloud, who owns your thoughts? You or the terms of service? These are the questions we have to answer, because the door is already open. But for Noland, these risks are theoretical. His freedom is real. Before the implant, Noland described his life as waiting. Now, he is learning French. He is learning Japanese. He once streamed for 72 hours straight. He had to be told to stop. He says the best part isn't the gaming, it's the independence. For 8 years, he needed help to do anything. Now, in the digital world, he is equal. When he logs on, his wheelchair disappears. His paralysis disappears. He told the team, I didn't want to get my hopes up, but this changed my life. Noland is just patient zero, the Model T driver. What comes next will make cursor control look like a parlor trick. Musk has already announced the next product. It's called Blind Sight. By bypassing the eye and plugging a camera into the visual cortex, even someone born blind could see for the first time. At first, it will look like early Nintendo graphics, but eventually, they plan to restore movement too. The digital bypass. One chip in the brain, one chip in the spine, bridging the gap wirelessly. We are looking at the end of physical disability as we know it. But it's more than just healing, it's evolution. We are carbon-based life forms creating a silicon layer. Noland Arbaugh took the first step. He let the machine in. And now, the question isn't, can we do it? The question is, are you ready to be upgraded? This video took 100 hours to research. If you learned something, hit subscribe. I have to ask, would you get a Neuralink chip? Or is it too dystopian? Let me know in the comments. And if you think brain chips are wild, you need to see what AI is doing to the world of genetics. It's even scarier. Click here.